Beat Making Basics.
What's good, YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe and give me hundreds of thousands of likes and all that type of stuff. Go ahead and shoot me some comments if you like the video and have questions or anything as well, man. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and jump into today's content. What we're going to be talking about today is how to mix a little baby type beat. We're going to be doing it in 10 minutes or less. At least that's the goal. Let's jump right in. Now, this is the beat that we've actually been doing in our 3-part series. I do 10-minute beat challenges, and in these challenges, basically, I make the beat in 10 minutes, then I arrange the beat in 10 minutes and mix the beat in 10 minutes. So you're in the third video of this series. Let's go ahead and listen to the beat, and then we're gonna just do some things to touch up the mix. And as you can see here, I've already kind of been doing some basic leveling stuff, but I'm gonna do some more to really make this thing pop. So let's just listen to the beat. I'm just gonna let you hear the intro and the hook, maybe a little bit of the verse, just to give you a vibe of what we're working with. So yeah, that's enough, man, just to get y'all in the vibe of what we're working with here, especially if you're new and you haven't heard this beat yet. By the way, shameless plug, I do got a free course that you can download. It's going to give you the fundamentals of beat making, and it's going to show you the intro. It's like an introduction to GarageBand and an introduction to navigating Logic Pro 10. Download that course. I got a special offer for you as well. And I did go ahead and decide to put my beat site back up, man. So ukaibeats.com if you want to check this beat out and all the other beats that are on this channel, lease it or whatever. Let's go ahead and jump right back in here. First things first, when it comes to mixing, the real thing you want to do is go ahead and bounce everything down or export everything as audio files. So in order to make sure that we're doing things the right way, that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So I'm just going to go ahead and push Shift Command E. And when doing that, that's basically going to bring this guy up. I'll create a new folder. I'm going to say Little Baby Talk. That's what I call the beat for whatever reason. Stems. And I'm going to go ahead and just export it. 24-bit overload protection only. You could turn that on or off, but we'll just go ahead and we'll turn that on and export this session. That's going to be the first step, man. Let's go ahead and do that. Reason why is like working with audio, is a whole lot better than working with MIDI when it comes to mixing, because it's easier for your computer to process audio rather than MIDI with all of the different plugins. Like for instance, this one riser strobe sound has all these different plugins. I mean, that's going to slow down the computer and slow down the mix ultimately. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and push Command Shift S to do a save as. I'm going to do a whole new session. We'll do 3 right there, and this is where we're going to come over here and delete everything. Okay, erase. Okay, from here we're going to come over here to the top left of the screen, and you can go on your computer and find anything you want there and then drag and drop right over here into the workspace window. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to look for our Little Baby Talk stems, and I'm just going to drag them on in like so. Give it a couple of seconds to kind of bring everything in like so, and bam, now we have everything here. Next thing, when it comes to mixing, I want to make sure everything is named properly and organized, so that when I'm bringing up volume levels and all that type of stuff, that I know what I've got going on. We'll do it like this. So yeah, we'll have the 808 at the top, kick, clap. I like to have my drums at the top and like my melody at the bottom whenever I'm mixing. So that's what we're going to do. We'll just say rise for short. We'll say rev for short. You know what I'm saying? Just get organized, man, because it can easily get out of place if you don't. And we're just going to say strings. Bet. So I'm going to highlight everything here in the workspace window by pushing Command A. And then we're going to do Shift Option N. And that's going to name everything that's right here over here. I'll delete this track. And now we're ready to get into the mix, okay? I'll turn this off. This is our mix. First thing for me is go to the main part of the song, which is going to be the hook. It has almost every element. Matter of fact, in this particular beat, it does have every element. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of listen to certain instruments, and I'm going to bring things up one by one. So we'll come over to our mixing window, and we're going to just turn everything down. And we're going to start with the kick, then bring up the clap, and then we'll bring up like the 808s, and then bring in some certain things. So this is how I usually do it. We'll start with the kick, make sure it's punching. I can already tell there's a lot of things that I need to do as far as like certain plugins I would want to add, like the kick and the clap, because I probably put that overload protection on when I bounced down everything. It made the certain instruments sound a little bit soft in the mix, and I want to fix that. So first of all, like with this clap, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the Smack Attack plugin on. Basically, it's kind of like a compressor, and you can make stuff punch out in the mix. So we'll put that on the clap. That's before. I mean, that's just before. This is after. See how that clap just smack through the mix. So we'll do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that Smack Attack on the kick as well. We're not gonna put as much of the Smack Attack on it. All right, bet. Another thing I want to do is bring this guitar out a little bit more in the mix. And so there's another plugin that I like to use. It's called MV2. It's a Waves Gold plugin. So you can get that in that Gold bundle, or you could probably get it like just by itself as well. But it'd be better to get it in a bundle. But anyway, we're going to use this to push up some of the highs and some of the lows on that. So I'm going to push this up. And this is just my style of mixing. I like to do certain things a certain way. I usually like try to EQ first, but I wanted to go ahead and raise the volume on those certain instruments first before I even get to the EQ part. But next what I would do is something called subtractive EQing. This is where I'm going to take out some of the lows on certain instruments. Like for instance, this clap, I'll take out some of the lows on that. I don't know why this always messes up on me. And I know I could use a different EQ, but This one is fine, so I just use the stock EQ. And what we're doing when we take out some of those lows on certain tracks is we're making room for instruments that actually, that's like their main frequency, is the low frequency. So for instance, like this 808, you know what I'm saying? Like if you take out some of the lows, that 808 is gonna punch to the mix a whole lot better. So I'll take it out of the hi-hats as well. Okay, cool. So once we got that going, we can also think about like, all right, do I want to add reverb, reverb element to some of these tracks as well? And I think I do, just to add a little sauce, if you will. I'm gonna take out a little bit more of this EQ on certain tracks. Let's hold down Option, drag that on over. I usually leave the 808 and the kick dry for the most part, but you can come in on a kick drum and just take out just a little bit, like right here, and it somehow it makes the kick pop in the mix a little bit more too. All right, but anyway, we got that rolling. What I want to add reverb to is actually this guitar. It's like really the star of the show. And so I'm gonna add a little bit of a reverb to it. I like to use this Valhalla Room plugin. It's really the best plugin I know for reverb, and it's industry, you know, well respected in the industry. So let me just see how that sounds here. And you want it to be in the mix, but you don't want it to be too far in the mix. You saw how I turned that reverb down. I don't want it to be blaring and overtaking all the other instruments. So that's one thing. Next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and pan some of these instruments to the left and the right. So we might put the hats over here. Okay, cool. So we got that going. Another thing I'm going to do here, since I'm mixing actually with my headphones, is use a plugin I really like using just to kind of make sure that everything sounds the way it should. It's called NX Ocean Way. NX Ocean Way Nashville. We'll put that on there. And what this is going to do is going to emulate being in a real studio environment. Okay, but you're just basically listening to it with your headphones. I'm not gonna go into how to use the plugin. I just slap it on just to kind of get a, you know, A/B to mix basically. So let's just listen to it. I feel like that's it's pretty overall good levels and everything. So now we'll take the plugin off. And what I'll do now is go ahead and take this down just a little bit on the stereo out. I was taught this by some engineers, professional engineers. I believe it was Mousequake. He taught me this when I went to like a little like producer. I don't want to call it a convention, but it's like a mixer or something like that. But it's been a go-to for me every time I mix my beats. I just go ahead and turn it down some bit. Shout out to him. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep on doing this. Basically, what I would do now. You want to keep in mind that, you know, an artist is going to get on this joint. So as you can see, it has enough headroom. It's not peaking and everything like that. So what I would do now is just make sure that in different parts of the song that it still sounds dope. So I'll go to this other part of the song. And I low-key want to put like a little bit of a reverb on there on this clap. Yeah, so I want that reverb to be there on the clap, but I don't want it to be too heavy in the mix, you know what I'm saying? To where it's like all you're doing is listen to this clap with this reverb. I think the beat sounds pretty nice. So at this point, what I would do now, I know this is going to go over the 10-minute mark for sure, but I wanted to explain some things and my theory behind everything. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and bounce this down. And I'll bounce it down as a wave file. We'll go ahead and put it to sample rate of 48. And we'll just go ahead and bounce this down. Turn the normalize off. Yeah, and then we could just put it like this. We could just say, I usually just put like rough. That way I know that this is like the rough mix, right? Like this is just a mix before we actually master it. Or you could even put just mix if you want to. And then from there, we'll save it, and then we can do one more save as here. And again, this is cool because like you can always go back to each version of this particular song. Like I can go back to the version that has all the MIDI files in it. I can go back to the version that has, you know, the wave files and everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So delete everything here, and we'll do an audio. And then I'm just gonna come over here, like I said, go to the desktop here and find my Baby Talk mix. And then this is where I'll just pretty much boost the beat through a mastering plugin. All right, so that's what the wave file looks like. It's pretty clean, it looks good. And so what now I would do, go to the stereo out here, and I'm gonna use an isotope plugin called Ozone 9. And you could do couple different things on this to really boost it. You could do this mastering assistant, which is going to actually basically AI will master it for you. It'll put the plugins and stuff that you know that it thinks that you should have on here. Or you could just keep it simple by just taking this down to, like, you know, right there, whatever, and pulling this down some. They have some presets on here. I like using presets because it really just helps with keeping things simple. We'll do the CD clean basic and just see how that sounds. So it sounds pretty dope. This is what it sounds like without the plugin. This is with it. So pretty much that's it. That was the mix, all in a, you know, 10 to 20 minutes. But anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you're new. Make sure you go and give me a bunch of thumbs up and everything like that if you liked the video, if you learned anything, or if inspired by anything. Also, leave me your comments. I do my best to respond and everything like that. You can lease this beat at ukiahbeats.com, and you can grab a free course by clicking on the link below. I got a special offer for y'all. So I appreciate y'all, and I will see you in the next video.